And welcome to Firth Park. Can I just ask you? Obviously, the deal has been completed now. What are your thoughts about getting that done after a long road at times to getting to this point?
I didn't think it was a long road. I think, as like most business transactions I've been involved in over the years, there's usually a few wrinkles along the way, but none of them were, became a major problem. We were able to solve a few things, and very pleased today that we've begun this new chapter of Motherwell Football Club's history, and hopefully we can change the agenda for the club, which is to, by my involvement, it's much more philanthropic, it's much more community-based activity, and really looking forward to helping the board in any further way I can beyond the detailed business plan that we've developed to try and achieve the objectives that everybody wants for the club.
I think you touched on it there, but can you explain in detail to Motherwell fans and the wider community what your motivation is for getting involved as you have done?
Yeah, it's again, people may not know I was quite ill about 3 or 4 years ago, and I was able to battle through and recover, which led me to do two things. One is that my wife and I sold the company we had at the time, which was successfully done at the beginning of 2013, and the second thing we were trying to do was to expand our philanthropic activities, which has been not only in Scotland but obviously in my home in Barbados and that area of Caribbean, and also in Canada and the United States. So as part of that expansion program, I was looking for ways in which I could help beyond my current involvement in Scotland in various things. And I had read about the difficulties the Welsh Society were having in raising money. Now, I, for those who don't know, worked for British Steel in this area. I worked for Motherwell Bridge, and Motherwell Bridge was at the time building the largest, most technically advanced double wall LNG tanks and oil tanks and so on, some of the biggest in the world. I was a senior manager and subsequently director of Anderson Strathclyde, which is only half a mile from here, which at the time was the #1 manufacturer of mining equipment in the world, and some fantastic people and engineers there. And Motherwell was always, and Bellshill and Wishaw and Carluke to a certain extent, and surrounding areas were always talked about in the context of Ravenscraig, for example, breaking world records, of Motherwell Bridge securing orders for large, fantastic bits of engineering, Anderson Strathclyde winning large contracts in China and so on. And I was party to the decline of all of that. I witnessed it firsthand, and all of those businesses have suffered significantly by the downturn in various areas. And I think that has, when I reflect back, I bought my first house here in Ladywell Road. My daughter went to primary school here, so I lived in the community for many years. And a lot of my success has been because of the work I was doing here with Motherwell Bridge, British Steel, and subsequently Anderson Strathclyde. And as I said, the philanthropic agenda that I have and my wife has now, this was potentially an opportunity to give back to the community. So my reason is, as I said from the beginning, is not quite so much about the football club per se, but try to find and use that to hopefully engage the community and help, at least in a small way, to rejuvenate this community.
How would you explain your vision for what you hope to achieve here over the next 5 years or however long it takes?
Yeah, I mean, the objective and the agreements which are in place with the fans and the fan group is that the sincere hope is that in 5 years or less we make the improvements which are needed at the football club, that we move it into a position of hopefully generating some cash, that during the time I will hopefully get my money back, which is being given on a 0% interest, I am not taking any money out of it. The directors I've brought in are not taking any money out of it. But they also have some empathy for the community. So the objective for me and a success for me would be to, within the 5 years, to make the improvements which are needed to be done using my experience of business, and to migrate the ownership to the fan group. And therefore it's got much more of a community agenda going forward. So a success for me would be the business is self-sustaining, first and foremost. And secondly, if we do it properly and we work hard, then hopefully we can remain in the Premier League.
Can I just ask, you talk about improving the business, making it self-sustainable. Can you give us perhaps some examples of the improvements immediately you want to try to instill?
Yeah, I mean, in my review of the business, the business has suffered for 3 or 4 years from lack of investment, and because of the lack of investment, you don't get a return. So I think we're going to have to invest a little bit, which obviously I'm prepared to do, but invest it in the right way. We can improve the business processes, which are not operating as well as they should be. The utilisation of the facilities and function suites that we have here are obviously not been utilised, and that's where I would like the fan groups and the local community to consider participating in this agenda by booking the function suites here and maybe having some birthdays or business evenings or weddings or whatever. We have some fantastic facilities here, so the community can play a part in this change that we're trying to make here, remembering that it will be effectively no profit. Any money that we do get will be re-injected back into the club and the community. So I'm trying to encourage the community to get a bit more involved. We're also looking closely at the football side to try and be a wee bit more effective in the transfer market. Now that I'm involved and we have the required working capital, I think we can stand our ground in the transfer market and get the full value of some of the fantastic players that we have here.
Is there any other ways? Obviously, that this is very much a partnership with the Welsh Society. Is it? What would your message be to the Motherwell fans about the Welsh Society, about getting involved, about how they can help, to drive the club forward and the community forward?
I think everybody has to find their way of doing that, because some people, for example, I know they don't have a lot of money and so on, but they do have friends. So it won't cost them anything, but why not bring a friend to a game? Let's try and find ways in which people can engage. I think the Welsh Society should also, through the approximately 1,270 members they've got, try to encourage local businesses to become engaged with the football club now that it's much more of a philanthropic, community-based activity. Maybe they can become engaged and help their own businesses and help the economy. And the Welsh Society members can be out there selling what we're trying to do and encouraging others to become engaged. So, come to a game. Use the function suites a bit more, try to get more commercial sponsorship and or advertising. So yeah, there's a lot the Welsh Society can do, and frankly they have to do if this project's going to be successful.
I think you've stated in the past that a football club is more than just a club, it's a kind of pillar of the community. You've travelled the world and with business and where you live. How important is a football club as a kind of representative of the community? How do you see Motherwell fitting in with Lanarkshire in general?
As I mentioned earlier, Bellshill, Motherwell, Wishaw, Carluke and Lanark and the surrounding areas were frequently in the press because of British Steel, because of Motherwell Bridge, because of Anderson Strathclyde and so on. But now that they're gone, the area really is only ever talked about in the context of the football club. So to me, the football club is one of the last bastions of the brand that is Motherwell, and I think that re-emphasises the importance of the football club as a community asset, because it can be used, and if we do it properly and we do it professionally, then we hopefully can create a situation where it may encourage other companies to to come and join what we're trying to do here. Maybe some over the years they may come wish to relocate to this area, and really try to, in a small way at least, improve the economy. So the football club to me is not, and that's not why I'm doing it. It's not about the football. I mean, I think it's worth emphasising at this point is the fantastic work that's been done by the Community Trust, which operates under the auspices of the football club. I mean, they are currently engaged with 35,000 people and trying to help people in the community, whether it be children in school, teenagers, people with some drug problems, female football players, for example. They've introduced basketball. They have walking football for older people. I mean, I think the work that's being done by the Community Trust is just excellent, and I think we should be telling more people about that good work, and that's the type of thing I'm interested in, and I think we have to spread that philosophy and that idea about what Motherwell Football Club is really about, which I'll repeat is a much more philanthropic and community-based entity than it was before.
You've obviously been in Fir Park in several days this week, getting to meet all the staff and players and everyone involved here. What's been your message to them, and what's your message, your final message to the fans and the whole community?
I spoke to all the staff today, and really, first of all, I thanked them for their efforts over recent years, which I know has been through some difficult times. I outlined to them, as I've just done to you, what it is we're going to try and do here, and I asked for their help and support in beginning to make the changes we need to achieve these objectives, and I was very, very pleased with the response that I got from the staff here. We have some excellent people here at the club who have, as I said, lived through some difficult times. So I was really encouraged by that, and hopefully I've inspired them and made them a bit more enthusiastic about what they're doing. I spoke to all the football players. Obviously spoke to the manager, and we've got a new chief scout, and really, I think my message to them ultimately was, I think they've forgotten how good they are. Clearly they're better than the position they are in the league at the moment, and again tried to inspire and encourage the players to remember why they're playing football, and that's because they enjoy it, and just believe in themselves a bit more, because we have some excellent football players here at the club. Unfortunately, at the moment, we're suffering from really bad series of injuries, but hopefully we can get through that. We're certainly engaging sports scientists to try and help. So as I said, we're trying to take a much more professional approach. I spoke to the Welsh Society to give them the opportunity to ask me questions, and I've also spoken to the Trust people as well to get an idea of what they are doing. My message is, as I said, is to become more engaged with the club with the new agenda. You can become engaged without any money. You can bring a friend to a game. If you have some money, then buy a season ticket and come and help us do what we're trying to do. You may be planning a wedding or a function or a birthday or something, so try and, before you do anything else, why don't you give the club a call and see if you can use the facilities, the excellent facilities that we have here. And I think I would really like to speak to the businesses that are in the area, that maybe the new agenda, the new idea that we're trying to do here may be more appealing to them, and they themselves may want to help the community a bit more and be associated with what we're trying to do. So I would encourage them to make contact with the club. Of course, we'll be trying to make contact with them as well, but we hope that they'll maybe step forward and take part in what we're trying to do.